BaconBit.
Hey,
Something
nice.
about a bacon bit.
Wait,
that's La La Land.
You gotta stop.
It's just that's what came into my blood.
There is one
Bright and
sequence
colorful.
that distinctly reminded me of La La Land in this movie.
Was there? What movie?
What?
In the Heights.
In the Heights.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to be reviewing In the Heights today on this BaconBit. It did already come out last week, meaning
Yes.
it premiered, I believe, June 10th is when it came out on HBO Max and in theaters. Limited run on HBO Max. It's going to be taken away, I think, in July.
Yeah, like
They're gonna take it away.
Yeah, they usually go for a month.
Yeah. But it was one that neither Kent nor I had on our most anticipated list, and we were berated by Zack.
Yep. Because it's awesome.
Because Zack has been looking forward to In the Heights since he was a young boy in the in Dominican Republic.
It's true.
Best friends with Lin-Manuel.
Those are the best days, man. Yeah. Well, you guys liked Hamilton, right? I mean, this is the precursor to Hamilton. And if you pay attention, Hamilton is a ripoff of this.
Well, he actually, Lin-Manuel Miranda, wrote this while he was in college in like 1999.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then it was on Broadway. This was on Broadway, I think, in 2005. I want to say it started there. And
I feel like I feel like you're theater explaining to Zach.
no, I'm actually. This is to the. I'm not talking to Zach.
The listener. Come on.
Yeah, it's the listener.
Yeah.
I'm going to check him on that though because I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I think
So
you are
this
right.
did this win the best Tony for new musical?
2005.
Premiere July 23rd, 2005.
Broadway, 2008. Calm down, buddy.
Hey, just because it's not on Broadway doesn't mean it's legitimate.
Open Broadway run March 2008.
All right, so we're both right.
We're both right. Hey,
I don't know what to believe anymore.
long
Anyway,
distance
Zach,
finger boop.
do you want to give the synopsis of In the Heights?
Of course I do, Joel. I definitely have that pulled right up right here. I'm so prepared.
You don't have to get it pulled up. You can give the
wasn't-
general synopsis.
No,
you
I'm
know,
gonna
you know
do
the play.
A film version of the Broadway musical in which Usnavi, a sympathetic New York bodega owner, saves every penny every day as he imagines and sings about a better life. And really, this is a story about Washington Heights in New York. And it's a story about this town full of immigrated people, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba,
Mexico.
these people who come together and they, all these stories pass through. And so we have this bodega owner who makes coffee for everybody, and sort of all the stories pass through him and all the stories pass through his place.
Yes.
So you've got the salon ladies, and then you've got the taxi radio dispatch guys, and again all these stories of this block come together through this bodega
Jenny's
owner.
there.
and some love stories, of course.
There's a couple love stories.
I should clarify, we're not going to get into spoilers here at the beginning. We will give spoilers later on. We'll let you know when that happens. So even if you haven't seen the movie, you can still listen to this first part and enjoy it. And we'll give you our feelings and thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with Zach.
Yeah, Zach, keep on going.
This is one of your most anticipated ones. Have you
Yes.
actually seen the play
I have not.
that
I've
premiered,
seen-
in 2005?
and 2008
yeah.
on Broadway, when it was legitimized.
No, I honestly, I never saw the play. I've listened through it. I've seen all the clips because it was big in the Tonys that year. It did win the Tony for Best Musical that year. So there were some clips and things. And then I saw a good portion of a high school production that was filmed amazingly well, just to get a vibe.
A high school production of In the Heights?
Was it In the Heights Junior?
In the Heights, yeah. I was like,
in
wow,
the
this
mid
is-
Heights.
It was way too good a quality for what was going on.
Was it the
But
full production or just a couple of musical
It
numbers?
was the full thing, yeah. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was like, I feel weird watching a high school show.
Because the movie's 2 hours and 23 minutes long.
and
it
they cut
is.
stuff out.
Please.
But they also added stuff in.
Yeah,
They
a
did.
A little bit. But
Okay.
as far as this movie goes, originally it was Lin-Manuel Miranda playing the main character on Broadway. And
He
now
was Usnavi?
he was Usnavi. Yep. And then Chris Jackson, who was George Washington in Hamilton, he was Benny, the guy who works for the dispatch unit.
Okay.
So yeah, it was those guys. And they're also featured in cameo roles in this movie.
Yes.
And this was directed by John M. Chu, who directed such hits as Step Up 3D, Step Up to the Streets,
Come on.
Justin Bieber, Never Say Never, G.I. Joe Retaliation, Gem and the Holograms, Now You
And?
See Me Too.
Come on.
And
The good one.
Oh, the good one. Well, that's
Crazy Rich
obviously...
Asians.
Oh, you say good one.
I like Crazy Rich Asians. What's
But
up?
it is the one that is his most successful movie.
Yeah.
He's done
It's a
2
good
Justin
enough
Bieber
movie.
movies, by the way.
Yeah.
Just point that out.
So this is a movie musical. In
Yes.
its truest form. This is a movie musical.
Very much like Hamilton, where the music
Yeah.
doesn't stop. They sing almost the entire time.
No, not as much as it's not an operetta though. There's still quite a bit of spoken word.
It's mostly sung. I would say 80 to 90% sung.
I'm going to go 70% sung.
Let me look here. Oh, it says 2005.
But yeah, this is a definite musical where, for example, they're walking down the street. You have a little bit of animation with singing, and then they get to the community pool, and everyone knows the same dance. So
And the CGI splashes.
It's musical land. Yeah, CGI splashes for sure.
Yeah, and what is interesting about this movie, and going about like talking about it, what I really love is it's a very colorful world that they've created, and as part of it, they do this interesting thing where there are people in the background throughout the entire movie, and you see the vibrancy in the color, and then you see the vibrancy in the people, and they're dancing to the music that's just playing on the radio, and then it does this weird thing where it transitions that into your classic musical, everybody knows the choreography number.
Yeah.
And I actually think it works in this universe. It doesn't come out of left field like Another Day of Sun in La La Land, right? That big thing happens, but really that's the only like huge number in that show.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, it's awesome. It's fantastic. But if that was in the middle of the movie, it wouldn't have made any sense.
Right.
But so there are moments like that scattered throughout. And it's in this fantastical way that I think serves the movie and the storytelling very well.
Okay, so
So-
it sounds like you're won over.
So, give us your thoughts and review.
As far as the movie goes, this movie, I think, really rests on the shoulders of the lead, Usnavi, and Anthony Ramos, I think, crushes it. He won me over at every turn.
And he's the one who played Hamilton's son.
Played Hamilton's son.
Yes.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, but he plays a couple characters in there.
Yes, and he also has played the role before. At the Kennedy Center, he played the lead role in a sort of concert version. I think Anthony Ramos totally crushes this role, and I'm not alone. Lin-Manuel Miranda took to Twitter recently. He actually wrote this thread in 2008. 2018. Sorry, Joel.
2005.
No, you're just obsessed with 2008.
Yes, it's true. So he says, imagine you buy a pair of tap shoes. They're snug and you've never taken lessons, but you love them. You love the music you make in them. Your tap phase ends. You put the shoes in a box in the attic and you grow up. You have a family and years pass. One day you hear tapping coming from a nearby room. Your kid has found the tap shoes and he soars. Oh, the music he makes. The fit is not snug, but it's perfect. And something inside of you shifts and you realize, oh, that's why you got the shoes. That's why you saved them. Anyway, that's the closest I can get to how it feels watching Anthony Ramos play Usnavi.
That's nice.
Yeah.
He's almost like he's giving good publicity to someone that's in his production.
Because honestly,
yeah.
would he say anything negative? Like,
But no, I get it. Like,
there's no character that I totally dislike, although the girls in it, particularly there's a character, Nina, who is supposed to go off to college at Stanford and then it wants to drop out. I don't like her character, but the actress does fine.
okay.
But I think the fantastical elements, I think, were just great, and I love them. Though the show is really long.
it is very long.
So what grade are you giving it?
I don't know. I really enjoyed it, but I think I'm in B+ territory right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Since when do you do letter grades?
Yeah, that's good. I'm loving it.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
disgust me like that. Why would you do that?
Keep it
Dang,
going.
why did I do that? No, what would that convert that to? I think I've been reading your articles at
Like an 8?
showtimeshowdown.com. Yeah, I'd probably give this like an 8.5.
Okay.
I think it's really, really good. I will definitely watch it again, though. I
Wait,
will
you do
block out
points? You do points in your 10
I don't
score
know.
system?
I'm
Let's
not in the
move on.
room. It's crazy. Yeah, I'll fine. 8. I'll give it an 8.
Okay, so I'm going to jump right off of there because you said fantastical elements. There's really only one scene other than the standard show tune thing where you get kind of a glimpse of some sort of fantasy, right? Because otherwise it's
The
just...
Spider-Man scene.
Yes, it's just
The
displaying...
Batman scene, as I called it.
Yeah, it's just displaying...
Adam West.
Yeah, that was
right,
Batman.
like the colorful streets and just the liveliness in the heights, basically. But to me, it was all very samey. Most of the songs were, and I'm saying this from a naive point of view, not memorable enough at all. There were maybe 2 or 3 of them like, oh, that could be a nice little bop
Sing
right
one
there.
out.
in the Heights, or wait, $96,000. Wish I had $96,000. Zach, is that correct?
96,000. Yeah, I don't find the music particularly memorable either.
And that's the problem with this is you watch Hamilton, and granted, it's a stage play when you're watching that particular production.
Name a Hamilton song. Like
I could sing them for you.
Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
My name is Alexander Hamilton.
I'm not throwing away my shot.
You've listened to it how many times?
Oh, no. You need to listen to Hamilton one time and you want to listen again. If I heard the soundtrack of this, I'd be like, oh, that sounds nice.
Hamilton's first 4 or 5 tracks are legitimate bangers. They're great.
Yes.
My Shot, You'll Be Back, whatever. But that pretty much everything after You'll Be Back falls into the same idea.
Non-stop. Man, non-stop. Get out.
Okay. Satisfied.
And $96,000.
That's not that one.
That's not it.
And the problem
I just think
is,
a lot of Hamilton falls into the same thing of it's got
2005. Isn't that the song from Hamilton?
how does a bodega owner who's trying to give free coffee to his girlfriend? 96,000.
Don't ever try to rap again.
You can definitely tell this is the precursor to that.
Yeah,
if you are very familiar with Hamilton, you will know, you'll see the DNA of Hamilton all over In the Heights.
I totally agree. Still in my review.
Okay.
If people knew In the Heights better, they would say that Hamilton is derivative.
Lyrically, this is good. Musically, not. It's not good. It sounds nice, but with the same environments. There are only a few scenes that really stand out to me. Like, for example, when there was the blackout and they're all super hot and they're dancing in the alley.
Hot and temperature-wise.
In some other ways. And it's a fun number. There are fun numbers here. But then I was like, what? How did that song go? I don't even remember the title one really, other than just the main verse right there. And so the problem is there's not enough fantastical elements to really draw you in for 2 hours and 23 minutes. This movie is really nice and it's fun to watch. But it does require probably 2 sittings. And there's so much that they could have cut out. And we can get into that with the spoiler section. But, Zach, I agree with you. Anthony Ramos killed it. And this movie rests on his shoulders.
Awesome.
I also thought Corey Hawkins was amazing as well.
Is he the kid?
And no, Corey Hawkins
he's
plays Benny.
Yeah, he's awesome. So, he's really good.
And they're both great. Jimmy Smits as well. Huge surprise for me. Really fun. And he plays Nina's father. And I liked his character a lot more. There's a lot more depth there than with Nina. I agree with you. I thought there were some characters that were extremely shallow. Some plots that they didn't really dare to go into, or I'm not sure how the play goes. But I am just kind of slightly above average on this one.
Really?
Visually cool. Musically fun. But it doesn't draw me in. I wouldn't want to watch it again. So I'm giving this one a C+.
Okay.
I going off of that, Nina is the Eliza of this show, where I'm like,
Yeah, I agree.
Eliza. So I was excited to see In the Heights because I do enjoy Hamilton a great deal. I think it was one of my highest rated movies I watched last year. I called it that.
Yes.
I've never seen the production on stage. I'm a fan of Moana too. I love the Lin-Manuel Miranda's work.
He's crazy
Moana.
talented.
He's also a huge Weird Al fan, which makes me like him a lot.
Yeah.
But like exactly like Zack said, it's kind of obvious that this musical came before Hamilton. Mm-hmm. This feels like the rough draft of what Hamilton would become.
Yeah.
It feels like a JV team. You know what I mean? It's not like this is a bad musical, but it's just like he's getting the kinks worked out. He's shaking the rust off. He's figuring out where parts go and how things work and lyrics and songs, because the songs are enjoyable in the moment.
Yes.
But they're out of my head as soon as they were over. I cannot remember a single song.
I got one for you. $96,000.
I heard that one. Yeah,
That's what everyone's going to remember now.
Yeah, which I'd love to get that. And I do feel like the songs went on a little long. Like it almost, they bled into each other in a way that I had a hard time sometimes distinguishing when one ended and one began. Or I was like, wow, they're still going with this song. Okay. And I felt like the story lacked tension. I felt like there was
no villain?
Well, not even there was no villain, but like, 'cause you don't always need a villain.
Sure.
I mean, an antagonist, sure, or something, it's self versus self, or man versus nature, whatever you want to call it. But this one just felt like, you know what? They were kind of good in the situation they were in, and if they want to get out of that situation, they'll be good too. Either way, it's fine. Mm-hmm. Like there was no like, I need to get out of this because my situation is terrible. It's like, hey, I got a great community here, and it's fine if I stay. It's fine if I go. No big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I just didn't feel that dramatic tension. And I'm glad that Lin-Manuel Miranda finally got his first musical on stage. You know, the one that came out in 2005. And one other thing that threw me out, by the way, and this isn't a spoiler either, but one of the characters in there is played by Stephanie Beatriz, who is Rosa. That's what she is. Rosa in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
In Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah.
Who's this
Carla in the movie.
She's emotionless and like this very tough, emotionless woman in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And then in this one, she's like this flamboyant hairdresser. And every time I saw her, it pulled me out of the movie because I'm a big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So seeing her in this different perky role was so bizarre for me. It kept pulling me out. That's neither here nor there on the rating, but just that was one thing that kept pulling me out. And in the end, I kind of went, it was fine. So I'm giving this, like you say, a little above average. I'm giving this straight down the middle of it's 3 stars.
Yeah.
It's an average movie. I don't know if I'll watch it again. And I did watch it with my kids said, should we see it? And I was watching it through and I'm like, there's a couple S words in there, a couple references.
There's some suggestive content and some language. For sure.
But nothing less language than Hamilton.
I watched it with my kids because they've seen Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
And
what do they think?
Well, my oldest loves musicals at that point. She's now a theater kid. Thank you very much, Zack.
Nice.
Right? So she liked it, but kind of when it ended, she was like, that was nice. Can we listen to Hamilton again? Sort of thing. They actually didn't notice any of the allusions to naughty stuff, but they heard every swear word. And they said, Dad, there were a lot of swear words in that movie. I was like, yeah.
Well, we usually have subtitles on, but I was like, I bet if I turn the subtitles off, my kids would miss a lot of what's happening here. Not that there was, like, really, it was just, I honestly think it was like maybe 10 to 15 S words throughout the play.
Yeah.
Throughout a 2 hour and 30 minute play. I don't remember much else. But anyway, so that's my review. It's good. It was average.
All right. So we got our reviews there.
Yep.
That leads us to...
I'm biased. I gave it a higher score. Fine.
96,000 spoilers. 96,000 spoilers. You take one down, you pass it. I don't remember the song.
Piragua. That's a fun one.
We're going to spoil In the Heights, which is... There's not much too much
There's
to
really
spoil.
only one big thing to spoil.
Two big things to spoil.
2 big things. Well, 2?
And one of them I want to talk about. It's kind of bothered me.
Abuela?
Which one? Mama Coco?
Not
Mama
Abuela.
Coco?
Abuela was the only part. Okay, so there's a character in there. She's called Abuela, which is Spanish for grandmother, and she's kind of the grandmother of this community, this barrio.
Yes.
And she passes away. And I honestly, that was the only part where I almost got emotional.
Oh, I cried.
You did?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
and the thing is, I cried at the drop of a hat. You guys know this.
I knew it was
Hamilton.
coming.
I cry. And I saw it coming, and she passed away, and it was this beautiful number she got to have. But I also went, wow, this has gone a little long.
That was the La La Land number, by the way.
Oh yeah, because it was kind of her fantasy going up to the Tunnel of Light.
Yeah.
It was nice.
The Havana train thing.
But it was actually at that moment when I realized I'm not emotionally connecting because I didn't cry. I kind of went, oh, that's nice that she gets to do this number, and it's a nice little send off to that character. But it was not a person to me. It was a character.
I was emotionally invested when Usnavi was being a
US
jerk.
Navy?
When he was being a jerk in the club. When he wasn't paying attention to his date. I was like, oh, she shouldn't like you. She shouldn't want to date you at all.
I felt like that fight was forced, honestly. I was like, why are they fighting? They both like each other.
Well, it's his awkwardness that turned into like appeasement, that turned into him just being apathetic, I think.
Kent understands he's been in the same situation.
I am that way. That is my routine.
And you saw the error of your ways.
Yes, exactly. Fine, you can dance with her. Okay, whatever.
No, it's fine. Yeah, go. I don't care.
Yeah, so at that point I was kind of emotionally invested because I was like, yeah, he's our protagonist and he's so darn likable. But at that point I'm like, yeah, he's super flawed. Like he doesn't actually know how to have personal relationships. There is an arc here. Like he doesn't know how to have these relationships. All he has is a goal to move back home. Right? That is the
back
point.
To the Dominican Republic.
The thing that bugged me this whole time is it he's raising the money? He seems relatively well off. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to buy this property in the Dominican Republic, and I guess I have no problem. I'm shutting down my shop. He doesn't seem to want for anything other than to travel.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it felt like there's no dramatic tension of like he's like, oh, should I stay or should I go? And I'm like, either way, you're good.
Yeah.
And it felt like almost everyone in the neighborhood was that way. It's
I basically called this people hanging out.
Yeah.
Like this is a musical of people hanging out.
Yeah. Which, as a Broadway show, for whatever reason, I think that works better.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's basically a single location on the stage. It's very easy for a play to do.
Like, I don't know if you need the arc in the same way that you need in a movie.
Okay.
But I do feel like, and this is a spoiler, like we said, we're spoiling this thing. I felt like the movie lied to me.
Oh, because it became How I Met Your Mother?
Kind of, but not really. It's like the whole time you see him telling the story to the kids on this beautiful beach, presumably in the Dominican Republic, and come to find out, no, it's just it is a beach. They filmed it at a beach.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's like, nope, it's just a mural they painted in the bodega.
Cinematically clever. I like that.
No, that was a lie to me.
No, but that's fine, because why would the movie want to ruin its ending for you? Because the whole time you're like, well, obviously he makes it to the beach, right? But does he choose that? No, he chooses to stay in the Heights, and I like that.
And I didn't. I thought he should have gone to the Dominican Republic.
You really should have.
I think
it's his dream.
Yeah, it's like it's his dad. He wanted to start it. It would have been successful. He would have been fine and happy down there. And then the girl, what's her name?
Vanessa.
Not Nina. Vanessa.
Yeah.
She could have gone too. She can do fashion down in the Dominican Republic.
Zach, where do you stand on the end?
I like it. I thought the framing device was weird because in the Broadway show, Usnavi is talking to the audience.
Oh, okay.
And so now this is an added element in the show where he's talking to his kids. And so the fact that it did turn into How I Met Your Mother.
Talking to the kids was kind of annoying.
It was like, okay,
what, Dad?
What, Dad? I was like, oh, Dad? Because that was all new and created for this.
Well, and I don't
love that as a framing device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that did annoy me because I was like, he should have been able to go down there and he wanted to go home even just to visit, and then maybe he gets down there and is like, no, I want to go back. But there was no reason to stay. There was no reason to go. Like even the Vanessa, the girl, his girlfriend, not girlfriend, the girl he's interested in, shall we say? She also could have gone or could have stayed, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, Stanford?
No, that's Nina. Oh, by the way, Nina comes back from Stanford in the movie because she had a couple of bad experiences where people made stereotypes based on her race.
Yeah.
That's not what it is in the play.
No.
In the play, her grades fell because she was working 2 jobs to try to scrimp and save to pay for college. And I like that story better because...
Well, it makes sense considering her dad's plight.
Yeah.
With finances.
Yeah. And so she's doing her best to pay for it. And it just bothered me that was the dad in me where she was just like, I had a couple hard experiences, so I'm not going to go back to school. And I was just like, what the heck? No, you got to finish what you started.
So I didn't really grasp what happened. I mean, I can understand. There just didn't seem to be a lot of finality between Nina and Benny because her dad sold his business officially, right?
Yeah.
To get her to go back to school.
Yeah.
They made amends, so she went back.
So Benny lost his job.
Yeah, and so... is Benny just saying, hey, I'll see you in a couple of years?
Let's dance on the
I'll see you next summer?
I think so. They're going long distance. They're like, well, we have the rest of the summer, and then you're going to go off to California, and then I'm going to try and get out there, too. I think that's what he implies in the song.
Yeah. I
guess I wanted a little more closure, because I did like them as a couple.
That's good. That's for the sequel.
Once again,
true.
It's still in the Heights.
If they stayed together or if they broke apart, that's fine. No,
yeah, it's fine.
No, it's all going to be okay. Yeah, and that's the thing is I just didn't feel that.
This is a slice of life show, though. It's not.
Yes.
It's not meant to be the beginning and the end of this something great. It's just a slice of life.
This is. I'm going to use video game terms, and that's not a good thing. Right. This is open world multi
MMORPG.
Yeah, just basically you go in there, you play a game of Fortnite, you kind of meet everybody else, you have a good time. There's no real story arc going on. It felt like to me, as opposed to a movie where there is some sort of dramatic thing building up and then stuff happens. So
I do think that makes sense.
The choreography bothered me too. And not because it's bad choreography, but because there was so much going on and the camera kept cutting away from it.
No.
Like, it was like, I'm watching the background. I'm like, oh, that's cool how they're, whoa, nope. And now I'm getting a close up of this person over here. I wanted to see kind of everyone moving in sync. I felt like it was beautiful chaos or chaotic beautiful because I wanted to see more what was going on. I wanted to be able to choose where I looked when the choreography was happening, but the camera kept shifting my view and it bothered me.
I loved the choreography. I can understand where you're saying that you wanted it to hold longer. I thought the choreography and the camera movement was pretty solid, but I agree. I would have liked to be able to appreciate it more because I do think the choreography was fantastic.
What did you think of the hand drawn animation that would occasionally?
Oh, I thought it was super fun. I think this universe earned it. It's colorful, and
it is colorful.
And I think I didn't feel out of place. Yeah. So I was totally fine with it. I thought it was super fun, like the random like chalk lines coming off of people when they were going to the pool. I thought that was super fun.
I feel like this is a tough movie because it feels like a background feel good musical movie, right? Because the music is so passable and it's nice, but at the same time, you're almost required to watch what's happening on screen, even though there's not much story, but it is so vibrant.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. Maybe super fans could watch this in the background and everything, but for people like Joel and myself who are not as into this, Joel, you like musicals quite a bit, but it's like a one-time watch, it feels.
This could be if you'll pardon me saying, a Costco sample television program. When they're trying to sample their TVs, they put this on there.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's beautiful.
I'm sure this
it's
will
beautiful.
play
It's
on
fun to
trailers,
watch.
At Best Buy and stuff.
One more plot point I want to point out here. I looked up my notes here.
Okay.
The shaved ice guy versus the ice cream guy.
It's just cute. It's adorable.
That bothered me.
No.
I was like, you can both exist, man. Chill out. Because he's, shave ice guy. But I was like, it's ice cream and shave ice. People can want both. You can work different parts of the street. Why you got to sabotage this guy's living and lock him in his own truck?
Was that added for the movie?
It's because it's Chris Jackson.
The order was switched. There was stuff that happened kind of like there's a post credit sequence that actually happened earlier in the movie.
I was hoping during the blackout when everyone, and obviously it's kind of hard to run a snow cone machine when there's no power, but I was hoping that he would have got so much business from everyone needing to stay cool. That would have been the end of that arc, but it just kind of went nowhere. It's fine.
Yeah. And it's a little comedic relief in there, which I found out Piragua, because I was like, Piragua, what does that mean?
Shave ice.
It doesn't. It's basically a mix of pyramid and water. So it's water pyramid.
Okay.
But I think that's the name for shave ice or snow cones. Yeah.
So, Zach, in summary, you weren't let down.
No.
You were very pleased with how this went.
No. I thought it went well. I like the show for what it is. It's part West Side Story without the stakes. It's part Fiddler on the Roof. It's part Rent, but not as heavy or dramatic as any one of those. It's fun. It's a fun watch. I am a fan. I am biased. I do wish it was 25, 30 minutes shorter, though.
Agreed.
I'd be happy to go see this on stage.
I was actually surprised. I was surprised that they had some of those songs go so long. There's a song that Nina sings when she gets into town, and I was like, wow, that's the full song. I feel like they should have cut that shorter.
Yeah, because it's a different experience. Going to see a play, it's 3 hours.
You don't care.
Sure.
And you get a break in between. And I watched it on HBO Max. I guess I should say that. We didn't go to the theaters for this.
No, I watched HBO Max.
I watched it on HBO Max, so I had the ability to press pause. Guess when I pressed pause, guys? Right as Abuela was dying. She literally sat down, and then I paused it, and then finished it the next day. And that was a terrible, terrible time to stop it.
You're all speaking of need and rest.
Yeah. I was like tired. I'll stop here because I knew what was going to happen. And I was already crying.
Zach. Don't lay down, Zach.
Yeah.
It's too hot. Your AC's not working. All right. Well, sounds good. I mean, yeah, I'm generally positive. I just don't think there's as much artistic ability behind.
No,
this
that's
movie.
the first time I watched Hamilton. There was a wow factor.
Yeah.
This one there was a factor.
Yes.
Kind of like that was nice.
Well
That's
said.
fine. So there you go. There's our review of In the Heights. Let us know on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or baconsale.com what you thought of this, because we would like to hear from you.
You know what I like dresses to smell like? Paint.
What? Oh, because the ending when he's painting in the mural, the same room as the fashion design.
Yeah.
that she got out of a dumpster. Okay,
Hey, can I get your drop cloths? Because I really would like my power suit to smell like paint.
Because there's no way that would fly if you moved down the Dominican Republic. Anyway, all right, let us know.
$96,000. Wish I had $96,000.